My name is Mia. I'm 24 years old, and this is the story of how I dodged a bullet when I left my ex-husband, Reese. Who knows what would have happened to me if I stayed in that relationship a moment longer? I had always known that marrying Reese meant accepting his close relationship with his mother, Evelyn. However, I never could have imagined just how crazy that relationship would become and how it would ultimately lead to the downfall of my marriage. From the very beginning, it was evident that Evelyn did not approve of me. She didn't really do much to hide her disdain either. She made it clear that I would never measure up to her expectations, and she constantly planted seeds of doubt and disapproval in Reese's mind. Evelyn, please, can't we have a civil conversation? I understand that you're upset, but constantly berating me won't solve anything. Civil conversation? Don't make me laugh, Mia. You think you can be a good wife to my son? Look at this mess you've made. I can't believe he married someone like you. The mess she was referring to was me spilling a cup of coffee because she had startled me after screaming at whatever was going on when she was watching one of her reality TV shows. She would always talk to me like this, finding every little reason to belittle and demean me. It was a simple mistake, Evelyn. I apologize for it, and I've cleaned it up now. I never wanted to cause any harm or disappointment, so I'm really sorry. Simple mistake? You've shown your true colors, Mia. You're careless and incapable of being the proper wife Reese deserves. I knew he should have listened to me and never married you in the first place. Evelyn had a vision for Reese's future, and it did not involve me. She made that clear. She wanted him to be with someone more suitable in her eyes, someone who fit her idea of a perfect wife for her son. She never missed an opportunity to remind me of my shortcomings and compare me to other women she deemed worthier. It was a constant battle to win her approval, but no matter what I did, it was never enough. Our conversations, instead of being filled with love and care as mother-in-law and daughter-in-law should, were always filled with anger and ugliness. Evelyn, please, can't you see that I'm trying? I love Reese, and I want to make this marriage work. But constantly tearing me down won't help anyone. We need support, understanding, and the chance to grow together. Don't you dare try and act like you know what my son needs. I know what's best for my son, and it certainly isn't you. Reese, please stand up for us. We can't let your mother's opinions control our happiness any longer. We deserve a chance to build a life together, free from constant judgment and criticism. But unfortunately, instead of being married to a real man, I was married to a sniveling mama's boy. I can't, Mia. I can't go against my mother. I'm sorry. Even though Reese wouldn't fight for us, I continued to challenge my toxic mother-in-law's beliefs. But as the argument continued, I found myself crumbling under the weight of Evelyn's everlasting disapproval and Reese's inability to stand up for us. The tears flowed freely down my face and my heart shattered into a million pieces. It was at that moment that I realized I couldn't fight this battle alone. I couldn't force someone to love me or to choose me over the influence of their mother. I was tired. I had been enduring this treatment for a very long time, but at that moment, something within me changed. One day I will physically force my son to sign those divorce papers. Do you hear me? You are useless and pathetic, and, Evelyn, I'm tired of this constant battle. I can't keep fighting against you and your disapproval. Do whatever you want. Oh, now you're giving up so easily? I always knew you couldn't handle being a part of this family. You're weak and spineless. It's not about being weak, Evelyn. It's about realizing that I deserve better than this constant turmoil. If you truly believe that Reese would be better off without me, then maybe it's time we put an end to this." "What are you saying?" "I'm saying that if you're so certain that my presence in his life is causing nothing but trouble, then let's get divorced. You've already ruined my marriage. I don't know what else to do." With a heavy heart, I made the painful decision to let go. I deserved someone who would love and cherish me without hesitation, someone who would prioritize our relationship above all else. And as I walked away from that tumultuous scene, I vowed to find the strength within myself to rebuild my life and discover a love that would never be swayed by external forces, no matter how big they were. As time went on and I was gathering my affairs as the divorce from Reese was being finalized, I would be bullied and ridiculed by both Evelyn and Reese. It seemed as though Reese had fully embodied his mother's traits, as they would both partake in mercilessly ridiculing me as I was getting my boxes. I expected this behavior from Evelyn, but Reese was now doing it too. Now, I knew for sure that there was no turning back, and leaving this family was the best thing I could do for myself. Throughout the divorce proceedings, Reese and Evelyn would torment me. At that point, they were just looking for a punching bag. Their incessant attacks weren't hurting me as much anymore. Rather, they were just becoming annoying inconveniences that I would have to deal with for just a little bit longer until the divorce was officialized. And thank God it was done in such a short manner of time, because less than 6 months later, I was once again a free woman. Sticking true to her word, Evelyn found a new lady for Reese in no time. Being the nosy ex-wife I was, I found out that this new girl's name was Morgan, and she came from a very affluent family. Her family was well known in the community for hosting grand events and fundraisers for their charities. But anyone could see that their family was just as snobbish as the next ridiculously wealthy family. From checking out her social media, I could see that she was quite a strict lady, similar to Evelyn. I'm pretty sure that's why they got along. I'll admit, I was sad to find out that this was what my life came to. Call it bitterness or jealousy, I was upset that Reese had left me for this woman, and I constantly checked their social media to keep up with what was happening. It was somewhat masochistic, if you will, and soon enough my heart was completely shattered when I saw their wedding photos. As I scrolled through my social media feed, a bittersweet feeling washed over me. There it was, the wedding photos of Morgan and Reese, the man I once thought I would spend the rest of my life with. Seeing their radiant smiles on their faces, surrounded by family and friends, stirred up a mix of emotions within me. Jealousy crept in, I'll admit. It's hard not to feel a pang of envy when witnessing someone you love so deeply moving on and starting a new chapter with someone else, even if I was doing my best to heal and move on. Anyone who has gone through what I've gone through will tell you that healing isn't linear. It's a journey that has its ups and downs. The thought of Reese standing at the altar exchanging vows with another woman was indeed a bitter pill to swallow. But amidst the bitterness, there was a surprising sense of relief. As I clicked through the snapshots of their special day, it dawned on me that this wedding was the final confirmation I needed. Our relationship was truly over, and it was time for me to let go completely and move forward. I couldn't help but reflect on our tumultuous past, the battles fought and the sacrifices made. It became clear that our love had lost its way, overshadowed by the influence of Reese's mother and the toxicity it brought. I had fought so hard trying to salvage what was left of us, but all of that was for nothing. Eventually, a sense of liberation washed over me. I realized that I deserved better, that I deserved a love that was unconditional and free from the suffocating grip of external pressures. Watching Reese and Morgan exchange their vows served as a catalyst for my personal growth and the realization that it was time to close that chapter of my life. With a deep breath, I closed the social media app and made a silent promise to myself. I would heal, I would grow, and I would find a love that was authentic. The wedding may have stirred up bitter feelings, but it also fueled my determination to move on and discover my happiness, independent of Reese's choices. And so, as I set my sights on the future, I took a step forward, leaving behind the remnants of a broken love story. It was time for me to embrace new beginnings, rediscover myself, and create a life that was uniquely mine. Or so I thought. You see, even after everything, after being embarrassed by my horrible ex-mother-in-law and coming to terms with the fact that Reese has moved on, it appeared as though I couldn't escape the ghosts of my past. 3 months after the wedding between Reese and Morgan, my life had taken a remarkable turn. The wounds of the past were slowly healing, and I found myself emerging from the shadows of heartbreak and disappointment. Instead of dwelling on what could have been, I focused my energy on self-improvement and pursuing my passions. During this time, I discovered a newfound sense of resilience within me. I embarked on personal projects that had been put on hold for far too long. With a determined spirit, I reached out to various businesses, pitching collaborations and ideas that would not only improve my own life, but also benefit others in the process. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, I could feel the weight of the past lifting off my shoulders. The bitter aftertaste of the wedding between Reese and Morgan no longer lingered in my thoughts. Instead, it served as a reminder of the closure I needed to fully embrace my journey. But just as I was setting into this newfound sense of independence, life had an unexpected twist in store for me. One evening, as I sat in the comfort of my own home, I heard a faint knock on my door. My heart skipped a beat as I hesitantly approached. I thought I had just heard something rustling in the wind, and I was not expecting to see anyone standing on the other side. But to my surprise and disbelief, it was none other than Reese, the man who had not once stood up for me and eventually resorted to acting like his mother when he believed he no longer needed me. His presence on my doorstep stirred a whirlwind of emotions within me. Confusion, curiosity, and obviously caution. "Hey, Mia, it's been a while. Can we talk?" This was the last thing I needed. I was healing and moving on from everything. I knew that I'd have to see him eventually, what with us living in the same small city, but I didn't expect it to be so soon. I hesitated, but I eventually said, "Sure, Reese, come on in. What brings you here after all this time?" "I've been doing a lot of thinking lately, Mia. I realize now how much I've hurt you, and I want to apologize." I was taken aback. What business would this married man have coming to his ex's house just to apologize? It's a bit late for apologies, don't you think? "I was blind, Mia. I let my mother's influence cloud my judgment, and I made a huge mistake. I never should have let you go." "It's interesting how you realize this now, Reese. You're married." Reese looked defeated. I think he was expecting me to welcome him back with open arms so easily. But I had advanced so far in my healing journey that taking such a huge step back like that was the dumbest thing that I could do to myself. "Please, Mia, give me a chance to make things right. Morgan and I didn't work out, and I've come to realize that you were the one who truly loved me." "Didn't work out? What do you mean? It's only been 3 months. I know, but..." "What happened?" "Well, just see for yourself." Reese pulled out his phone to reveal what appeared to be a video that he secretly recorded of Morgan and Evelyn talking. You don't understand, Morgan." "No, I think I understand perfectly. You've wasted my time. You said that marrying your son would be easy. He was supposed to help me look good in front of important people." "And he will. He just needs to learn. You wanted someone dumb and complacent, right?" "Yes, I did, but I didn't think that he would be this dumb. I know he's an idiot, but please just hear me out. He can change. He can be whoever you want him to be. He can sit still and look pretty. He can hold your arm and make you look good for all of your galas and charity events. He can be a complacent husband. Trust me. How do you think I can get him to do anything I want? You just gotta be extra tough on him and he'll fold like paper. Yeah, I remember you told me all those things, but he's just so useless. He doesn't even know about politics or fine art. How am I meant to brag to my friends about him? Just convince him to read up on those trivial topics. He loves you, so he'll do it. Trust me. Fine, I'll give this marriage another month or so, but if he doesn't reach my standards by then, I'm getting an annulment, and you won't get the money. What? But we had a deal. Yes, well, if you're unable to hold up your end of the bargain, then I won't be able to hold up mine. But I need that money. I want to be living it up too. Then let's hope that your son is teachable. The video ended, and I recoiled in disgust as I heard those awful words about Reese. Woof, that was hard to hear. What did they say when you confronted them with this? I didn't. You didn't bring this to their attention? Why not? I was scared. See, that's your problem, Reese. You're always too scared to stand up for yourself and fight. You're constantly under your mother's shadow. You should have confronted them with this. You could have even blackmailed Morgan with this, and you could have threatened to leak this to the tabloids, tarnishing her image. She could have given you everything you would have asked for. What a wasted opportunity. You know, I could never do that. Mom would kill me. Look, I get that not everyone can fight for themselves. It can be hard. But there's still time. No, there isn't. This video was taken a month ago, and today, well, what? Just like Morgan said, if I didn't reach her standards by now, she wouldn't want to be with me. And she did just that. She said we're over. Yikes. And then, because my mom was so angry at me for ruining her precious deal, she kicked me out of the house. Can you believe it? Really? But she adores you. Yeah, well, she adores money more, apparently. My mom was upset because Morgan promised her a lot of money if I could just be the pretty arm piece for my rich, intelligent, and extravagant wife. From the video, I'm sure you could get that. She never loved me. She never liked me. She just wanted me to be her arm candy. At that moment, I began to feel bad for Reese. Clearly, he was too used to being pushed around and receiving it twofold from his awful mother, and his equally awful new wife certainly wasn't ideal. He confided in me and told me that they were extra mean to him, making him feel completely worthless. They were treating me the same way that my mom was treating you. Wow. So now that you've experienced what it feels like, you're on my doorstep crying. How typical. Oh, come on, Mia. Why can't you be kind after everything I've done for you? Everything you've done for me? What exactly have you done for me, other than doing everything that your mom told you to do? Well, exactly. You never fought for me. When your mom was berating me, making me cry and feel useless, you would sit there and do nothing. I get that you're scared of her, but when are you going to stop feeling sorry for yourself and do something? Right now. Oh, yeah? Then go back home and demand that you stay in the house. Well, you see, the thing is, just like I thought, you have no backbone. I hate to say it, Reese, but you really need to step up. I'm not saying that you have to attack your mom the same way she does to you. All I'm saying is you have to decide for yourself what you want from this life. Do you want to continue to be used and manipulated? Or do you want to stand on your own 2 feet? So what you're saying is you're not going to help me. Wow, Mia. I didn't think you'd be this cruel. I see your mother's manipulative tactics didn't fall too far from the tree. Reese, I can't help you. I'm doing so good for myself, and the moment the divorce was finalized, you no longer became my responsibility. Reese began to shout and rage about how I was never a good wife and that I was to blame for his spinelessness. I sighed and told him to get out, and this seemed to scare him, so he decided to whine about how his life wasn't fair and that I should take pity on him. He switched back and forth from being sad, mopey, and begging to be harsh and cruel. It was like I was back in that horrible space again, and I simply couldn't have it. Reese, it's too late. You made your choice when you walked away from our marriage and chose someone else. I can't just forget the pain and heartache you put me through. And even now, you sit in my house and continue to insult me? You need to leave before I call the police. Mia, I've learned my lesson the hard way. I've realized how much I've lost. And I don't want to lose you completely. Can't we start over? Starting over means acknowledging the past, Reese. It means taking responsibility for your actions and understanding the consequences. I have grown stronger without you, and I won't compromise my happiness for the sake of nostalgia. But I didn't do anything. It was all my mother's fault. Don't you see that? But you're an adult. You've been an adult ever since you turned 18, and the choices you made, whether they were active or passive, are still your choices. You still don't get it, Reese, and that's okay. We're on two different paths, and I can't stop my journey to join you on your destructive path. Reese left begrudgingly, and as he was going, I felt good. I felt like I had passed a test of sorts. I was definitely a stronger person, and I was so grateful for doing what was right for myself. Reese and Morgan got divorced shortly afterward. Their breakup is just as public and extra as their wedding, and it appeared as though Reese was truly kicked out of the house because he was making it clear through the tabloids that his mother was mistreating him. But instead of receiving support from the public, people were laughing at him for still living with his mother. In the end, I think both Reese and Evelyn got what they deserved. Evelyn was forced to wallow in her shortcomings, and Reese was a sojourner, trying desperately to cling onto anyone so that he could be codependent on them. It was a shame to witness, but a blessing to be able to witness it from afar and from the comfort of my new and beautiful life.